It's just a really nice community, and people are wonderful, the police are wonderful, you know, it's just nice. Your neighbors are great, you don't have to worry about a lot.
The people of Painted Post have spoken. After a year of discussing and debating, village residents vote against dissolving Painted Post into the town of Irwin. Good evening, everyone. I'm JB BIUNNO. Thanks for joining us here on the late edition in high definition. It's a story we've been covering every step of the way here at WENY TV News. Tempted by the intriguing probability of tax relief, members of the Painted Post community came up with the idea to dissolve their village into the town of Irwin. That idea was put to the test tonight as the village held a public referendum to let neighbors decide whether or not to merge with the town of Irwin. But the results are in, and Painted Post will remain just the way it is. WENY TV's Joe MELILLO has been following the story for us, and he has the latest tonight.
I'm standing in Painted Post Village Hall where they just finished counting the votes and the resolution failed, 296 to 371. Now the history of this village played heavily on the emotions of the voters that came out today, and that many of them said they weren't going to let their identity go without a fight.
History of the area known as Painted Post goes back to the dawn of our country. The local Indian tribe literally marked their territory with a wooden painted post, establishing their identity.
It's really a power representation for the Indians.
Thursday, current residents headed to the polls fighting to preserve their power and overall identity by not dissolving into the town of Irwin.
You know, there's so much family history here. We have generations upon generations of people that have just grown up in Painted Post, and they don't want to lose their home or their identity.
It's where I grew up.
My husband was brought up here, and this is where we've always lived.
It's your home.
Mm-hmm.
Even people who have lived in the village for a short time feel connected. Brian Francis, an active duty serviceman for the Army, has been living in Painted Post for 2 years.
It really is. Everyone's tight. It was nice to have a little police department. You know, everyone knows everybody here. I joined the local fire department, so now I'm a volunteer guy. So it's just a nice area to live. And I've lived in a lot of places, and this is rare.
For the people who voted no to the dissolution, it was a fight to keep control of a village deeply rooted in history.
You want to try to keep it because, like I say, America's changing, things are moving, and the communities are disappearing in most cases I've seen.
You know, nobody wants to lose Painted Post. We don't want to lose our identity, and we just want to keep our autonomy. You know, we just want to be independent from Irwin and be able to keep government local.
Out of more than 1,100 registered voters in Painted Post, 50% came out to speak their voice. In Painted Post, Joe MELILLO, WENY TV News.